There's a strange paradox in human connection. The more we try to understand others, the more we often realize how little we actually know. You might think you understand women, their emotions, their patterns, their strengths, but beneath all that confidence and poise lies something hidden. A set of quiet weaknesses, rarely spoken, never confessed, and yet, if you learn to see them, they reveal everything about how real relationships work. And no, this isn't about manipulation. It's about awareness, about wisdom, about seeing human nature clearly, calmly, without judgment. That's what Stoicism teaches us, to observe, not to react. So today, we're diving deep into 5 hidden female weaknesses that every man should know. Not to take advantage of them, but to understand them, and in doing so, understand yourself better. But before we begin, if you value emotional depth, masculine calm, and wisdom rooted in Stoic philosophy, subscribe to this channel right now. Because every week, we uncover truths most people are too afraid to talk about. Let's begin. The weakness of emotional chaos. A woman's greatest strength is her emotional depth, but ironically, that's also her biggest weakness. When a woman feels deeply, she connects deeply. But when that emotion turns chaotic, she can drown in her own waves. She feels everything: love, jealousy, insecurity, fear, all at once. And when a man reacts to her emotion with more emotion, the storm doubles. But a Stoic man stands still. He doesn't fight the waves. He lets them pass. Understand this. When a woman spirals emotionally, what she's truly looking for is not someone to fix her. She's looking for someone who won't fall apart with her. That calm presence is magnetic. It makes her feel safe in your stability. So next time you see emotional chaos, don't meet it with anger or silence. Meet it with grounded stillness, because emotional storms pass. But respect for your calm, that stays. 2. The weakness of validation. Even the strongest woman, the one who says she doesn't need anyone, secretly craves validation. It's not vanity. It's biology. From an early age, women are taught to be noticed for beauty, for grace, for charm. The world rewards them for being seen. But that very reward becomes a prison. Because when that attention fades, when fewer eyes turn toward her, insecurity begins to whisper. Am I still beautiful? Am I still enough? This is where most men go wrong. They either feed that need endlessly, becoming approval machines, or they ignore it completely, becoming cold and distant. The Stoic path lies in the middle. Don't worship her beauty, but don't dismiss it either. Acknowledge her worth through your actions, not flattery. Respect her presence, not her appearance. A woman feels secure not when you validate her endlessly, but when your confidence shows that you don't need her validation in return. That quiet balance, it disarms her ego and earns her respect. 3. The weakness of comparison. Women compare constantly. It's not cruelty, it's survival. They compare themselves to other women, in looks, in relationships, in lifestyle. Social media has made this worse, an endless parade of perfection. Even a woman who seems confident can scroll for 5 minutes and suddenly feel less than enough. And here's where men misunderstand the game. When she compares, she's not always looking for better. Sometimes she's testing if she's already good enough for you. If you're grounded, her comparison fades. If you're reactive, if you start playing games, chasing validation elsewhere, or trying to make her jealous, you amplify that weakness. A Stoic man stays above comparison. He doesn't compete with her moods or her imagination. He knows who he is, and that quiet self-certainty gives her something no social media ever can: peace. 4. The weakness of attention addiction. Let's be honest. Attention is a drug. And in today's world, it's stronger than ever. When a woman posts a photo and receives hundreds of likes, dopamine hits like lightning, but that moment fades fast. And what replaces it? Emptiness. That's why some chase it again and again, not out of arrogance, but out of quiet loneliness. Because attention, unlike love, doesn't stay. So what should a man do? Not judge, but understand. A Stoic doesn't try to control people. He understands the forces that control them. If she's addicted to attention, don't compete with it. Don't try to be the louder voice. Be the calmer presence. Because when the lights go out and the world goes silent, attention disappears. But your calm, your presence, that's what she'll crave most. 5. The weakness of overthinking. If men overthink actions, women overthink emotions. A woman can replay a conversation 100 times, analyzing tone, pauses, and hidden meanings. You said, "I'm fine," she heard. "I'm distant. You." Took longer to reply. She felt abandoned. This, overthinking, doesn't mean she's irrational. It means she cares. But care without clarity becomes confusion. Here's where the Stoic man rises. You don't need to explain every detail. You need to embody consistency. If your energy doesn't change, her mind stops searching for reasons, because your calm is proof. Women crave emotional safety, and that comes from predictable peace, not dramatic passion. So remember, silence isn't power. Consistency is. If your words and actions align, her overthinking dissolves. So far, we've uncovered 5 hidden weaknesses: emotional chaos, validation, comparison, attention addiction, and overthinking. Each one is rooted in human emotion, not female fragility. And each one can be balanced by something Stoicism teaches every man to master: control of self. Because when you master yourself, you understand others. When you stay calm, the world bends toward your peace.